Well, hello again, everyone. As you can tell, we got new books. This is always the highlight of the day here at the Ridgefield Park Library whenever we get the new books here that we can give out to all of you. If there is anything that looks cool, that looks like something that you'd be interested in, please shoot us an email, give us a phone call, place a hold through the bccls.org system. If you need help figuring out how to do that, again, just give us a call and ask to be placed on hold for any one of these books. These books are fresh from our supplier. Okay, that sounded more nefarious than I wanted to, but what else can I call it? It's straight out the box, straight to the library, all here for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about these, but first, here's a little PSA for anybody who knows somebody who's doing summer reading. We do have the summer reading books here. These aren't the only books we have. We have all the summer reading books for the Ridgefield Park High School, middle school, and I think like a grade school even has some assignments. I am not 100% certain about that, but I believe that they do. We have all the books available here, so please, guys, we were all kids. We all remember what summer reading was like. Don't spend 15 bucks on a book that your kid is going to read and probably will forget about or won't care about and will make summer a chore for them. And instead, come to the library, get it for free, read it, drop it off, and have your conscience be gold. Okay? Let's get talking about books. All right, first we're going to mention this young adult book here, Hardwire by Len Vlahos. Library Liz told me about this one. This sounds like a really good one for any sci-fi lovers out there. It is about a kid who finds out that he is an artificial intelligence, but he didn't know he was an artificial intelligence. It sounds like the type of book I would have loved when I was 15. So if you know somebody like that, well, God help you, but at the same time, this would be perfect for them. So yeah, give it a shot. Speaking of another Library Liz recommendation, we have Unraveled the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim, the second in the Blood of Stars series. We do have the first book. If you have somebody who's a fan of fantasy mixed with mythology, definitely pull this one out, especially if they have been reading a lot of Percy Jackson and you want them to try something different. Library Liz has great recommendations, and she recommended this one, so I am most certain that it is great and definitely worth your time. All right. Oh, here's something that's a little bit weird. Hey, you guys remember the movie Parasite, the one, the Korean film that won all those awards earlier in the year? Well, we have this book, Parasite, by Bong Joon-ho, who was the director and writer of the film. This is actually a collection of the storyboards used in that film, collected and presented in a graphic novel format. So you can go through the story of the film and you can actually see how certain key scenes were shot. This is really cool for both graphic novel lovers and anybody who's a fan of film, as you get to see a crucial stage in film development presented in book form. Oh, here's another young adult book, Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power, author of Wilder Girls. I never read Wilder Girls, don't tell anybody that, but I hear that was good, and I hear that Rory Power is a pretty cool author too. So if this sounds like something that you would like to read about, be sure to ask us about it, and perhaps Library Liz can give you a bit more information than I could. The air burns me from the inside out. Fire is not like this, not the way I know it. I forgot it could hurt. I forgot it can move. That words like that, definitely compelling enough for me to take notice, so yeah. All right, in the adult section, The Art of Her Deal, The Untold Story of Melania Trump by Mary Jordan. Well, this one I figure probably needs no introduction, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. The Untold Story of Melania Trump. I know there are people who are really interested in this one. We have it here in our nonfiction section, so if you're looking for interesting nonfiction, this one came highly recommended. And yeah, be sure to put your name down on it, because I have a feeling that this one's probably going to disappear for a while. All right, what else we got here? The Last Train to Key West by Chanel Cleaton. Oh, I don't know if you guys ever read Next Year in Havana, but if you're looking for a good, fun book that's a mix between historical fiction and a little, if I remember correctly, a little bit of romance, this one's really good. And it is a Reese Witherspoon book club pick. So, by all means, oh, actually, I think Next Year in Havana was a Reese book club pick. This one, well, who knows? It could be. If you're looking for something in the same vein as that, we do have Next Year in Havana, and I think we have some of Cleaton's other books here too. Definitely give this one a read. If nothing else, if you can't go to the beach, might as well pick up a beach read. Oh, speaking of beach reads, we got not one, not two, but 3 different romance paperbacks for all of you. So, Sarah McLean's Daring and the Duke, Joanna Shoup's The Devil of Downtown, and Christine Feehan's Desolation Road. All these authors, this is probably not going to surprise you. I have not read any of them. I don't know why. Maybe this summer, if I have enough time and if I'm not too busy, maybe I'll finally take the plunge into the big romance mass market paperback category. But I know there are fans of romance novels out there, and that is perfectly awesome. If you like something, don't be ashamed of it. In fact, embrace it. And if you are a romance fan watching this, I hope you find something here that you might enjoy. And yeah, we're always getting new ones too. So yeah, these are just 3 for today. Okay, Claire Pooley's The Authenticity Project. Pooley is a very smart writer. She is very funny. She writes really good characters, and I was actually upset that we didn't have a copy of this until one of you guys requested it. So if you're watching it, mysterious requester, you now know that the Authenticity Project is here. And for the rest of you who may not have heard of it, definitely give this a shot. Alright, we got another series here. We have A Dangerous Collaboration by Deanna Raybourn and the sequel, A Murderous Relation. Somebody told me that these books were really good, and I was wondering why we didn't have them here in our library. So I got the first book, which is now available in paperback, and the sequel, which just came out. So if you're looking for a really fun Victorian age mysteries, give the Veronica Speedwell series a shot by Deanna Raybourn. Oh, and other things in terms of series, here's a series that has finally come to an end. This one, The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty, is the final book in a trilogy that began with The Kingdom of Copper. If you like fantasy, like Game of Thrones-esque fantasy, or The Witcher type fantasy, Chakraborty came on the scene with The Kingdom of Copper, which is a Middle Eastern tinged fantasy, and it was really gonna miss the series because this is the final book in that trilogy. If you've not read the other 2 books, definitely give those a shot. But yeah, this one I am genuinely excited for. And going on to well-known authors, Hank Green, brother of John Green, with his latest book, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor. I'm really happy that Hank has continued on with writing. He wrote a book last year, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which we have a copy of, and that was a fun interesting read. Like, it's very easy to see that some of Hank's detractors might say something like, oh, he's trying to copy his brother by being a writer, but Hank has his own unique voice. His books are a mix of science fiction with a lot of reality and a lot of heart to them. Like, he mainly writes about relationships, but the science fiction element is more of a background setting, kind of similar to, not to give him too high praise, but one of my favorite authors, Kurt Vonnegut. This is like a lighter Vonnegut, but it's very good, and I really enjoyed his previous book. I'm looking forward to enjoying this one too. Alright, now for something completely different. Mob Psycho 100 Volume 5, and One Punch Man, Volume 20. Both of these books are manga, so Japanese comics for those of you who are uninitiated. Both of these are part of a series, you know, hence the 20 and hence the 5, but both of them were created by an artist known as One. One Punch Man is about a guy who is super powerful and can defeat all fights with one punch, and Mob Psycho 100 is about a teen boy who is the most powerful psychic in the world. Both of these characters are bored with what they have. It is both of these books are really fun looks at what it means to have superpowers in a world that probably isn't equipped to deal with people like that, and what would really happen if you had powers like that. They were really fun. They both have anime adaptations, so Japanese cartoons for those of you who don't know, and they are, like I said, really good. I really like Mob Psycho 100, and I also really like One Punch Man, although Mob Psycho I give it a little bit more credit than One Punch Man does. Like I said, they're both really good. If you have someone in your life who likes manga, definitely give this a shot. The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. I believe this is another young adult book. I can't remember the last time we had a young adult book that dealt with mermaids and witches, and well, from the looks of it, pirates. So yeah, I cannot speak as much about this as Library Liz could, so if you get a chance, again, please hit us up, ask us more about this, and we will tell you more. But like I always say, Library Liz does not pick out bad books. Jeff Vandermeer's A Peculiar Peril. If you ever saw the movie Annihilation with Natalie Portman, or if you read the book, Vandermeer is the author of the series that they turned into a movie, and he's a very weird science fiction writer. I don't know how many people would really enjoy this. When I read Vandermeer's works, I enjoy them, but at the same time I feel like maybe he's writing for someone with a lot more IQ than me, so that's more of a fault of me than for Vandermeer. So if you're a fan of good science fiction and fantasy that presents a lot of ideas, Vandermeer's previous works were very idea driven, and this one definitely so. Oh, also Vandermeer wrote a book called Wonder Book, which is one of the best books on writing out there. If you're a writer or a would-be writer, definitely look up his name. All right, historical fiction nuts. Here we go. Bonnie by Christina Schwartz. If you've ever read Drowning Ruth, then you would know what you're getting with this book. But this is a historical fiction book about Bonnie, of Bonnie and Clyde fame. I am not as familiar with Bonnie and Clyde as historical people as I am characters from the Arthur Penn movie Bonnie and Clyde, one of my favorite movies. I might just give this a shot because I do like stories where they take historical people and try to do something different and present them in a different light than you could in a biography or a nonfiction book. So yeah, I heard a lot of good things about this one. Definitely give this a shot if you're looking for good historical fiction. Cinderella is Dead by Callan Barron. I most probably butchered that name and I apologize. Again, another Library Liz pick for young adult. I think this one is from what I understand, yes, this is a reimagining of the Cinderella story. If you like books that are historical, are reimaginings of famous fables that everybody is familiar with, definitely give this one a shot. It reminds me of, I don't know how many of you young adult readers are out there, but Marissa Meyer's Cinder series, that was a really good one. And again, Library Liz picked this one out, so like I said, it must be good. Always the Last to Know by Kristen Higgins. There's a good chance a lot of you already know who Kristen Higgins is. She is a very good writer. If you like books about, as I often joke with my wife about, the people coming to terms with things genre, Higgins is good at that, and she's good at writing realistic, believable characters. If you liked any of her other books, then you should definitely put this on your radar. Hey, Dion Mayer's The Last Hunt. All of you mystery lovers out there, have you heard of Dion Mayer? If you haven't, definitely read their stuff. We have a whole bunch of books written by them, and this one is probably as fun as all the other books they've written, sorry. And like I said, if you're looking for a good mystery, Dion Mayer's books are really good. This one just came out this week, but like I said, they've been writing books for a good while, so definitely look them up. Trixie and Katya's Guide to Modern Womanhood by Trixie Mattel and Katya. Hey, does anyone watch RuPaul's Drag Race? I know some people who absolutely love that show, and this is the first book written by two drag queens from the show, Trixie Mattel and Katya. Like I said, I know big fans of this show, so there's a good chance they're seeing this and they're just saying, yes, please, give it to me. I am curious to read what's in it, but again, if you're a fan of the show, if you want to read something from the perspective of two famous drag queens, this might be fun to read. Nancy Thayer's Girls of Summer. Oh man, it's still summer, isn't it? If you read Surfside Sisters and really enjoyed that, definitely read Girls of Summer. Nancy Thayer is a good writer of lighter fiction, about books about people who are in relationships and how crazy those go. And yeah, she can also be very, very fun and good to read if you're, like I said before, craving the beach and want a beach read. She is definitely worth your time. Whew, seems like this pile is never ending. Hey, Jim Carrey wrote a book, Memoirs and Misinformation. I am not too familiar with this book, but I do love Jim Carrey, so I kind of just had to pick it up. And I know there are people out there who are fans of Jim Carrey. He definitely is a funny actor. I don't know how good of a writer he is, but he co-wrote this with Dana Vachon, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like I say, it's always good to be curious in the library. That's how you wind up finding surprises. And you know, if you didn't like it, you didn't pay for it. Hey, Debbie Macomber, Walk Along the Beach. Who does not like Debbie Macomber? I can tell you, for as long as we will be open, we will always be getting Debbie Macomber books. I actually am not too familiar with what this one is about, but again, I know that you Macomber fans are out there. Here's her latest, just came out. Come and claim it. We also got a second copy of The Room Where It Happened because, wow, a lot of people want to read this book. Go figure. So if you were on the waiting list for The Room Where It Happened, we now have a new book to hopefully alleviate that. And if you haven't read it yet, now this should increase the chance of you getting a opportunity to read it. Put that over there. Hey, Star Wars Shadowfall, an Alphabet Squadron novel by Alexander Freed. There are some big Star Wars fans out in this community. Here is the most latest, wow, don't tell this to my English teacher. This is the latest book in the Alphabet Squadron series. So if you like movies like Star Wars Rogue One, or if you like shows like Rebels or Clone Wars, this is more in that vein, where it's like people on a mission in the Star Wars universe. Kate Elliott's Unconquerable Son. I believe this is a young adult novel, another science fiction book, another library list pick. Born to Conquer, Destined to Rule. That sounds really, well, dope. If you're looking for good science fiction action, something that you miss in seeing in the big theaters now, hey, books are a theater of the mind, so if anything, give this to somebody who is looking for a good action romp through space with good, cool characters. And you know, they'll be saying, theaters? What are theaters? Haha. Live to Tell the Tale, Combat Tactics for Player Characters by Keith Ammon. Keith Ammon wrote a book called The Monsters Know What They're Doing. this is gonna sound completely nerdy, but you know, I'm a librarian, so you knew what you were getting into when you clicked on this video. The Monsters Know What They Are Doing was a book about how to create interesting combat encounters for people who play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if you know about this, but the Ridgefield Park Library does Dungeons and Dragons games for people of all ages. If you're interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons, if you're interested in playing role-playing games where you play as a character who's in a story, sort of like you're the main character of your own story that somebody else is creating, books like this can really help you. And I find them really fun to read, and they're really good to use for any role-playing game aficionados out there. Get to use a $5 word. All right, so all of you guys who are fans of history, I have not forgotten about you. The Brothers York by Thomas Penn. This was marketed as the book about the War of the Roses. Those of you who have read about English history probably know about the War of Roses. If you have read about English history and don't know about War of the Roses, what classes were you taking? Because that's kind of a big deal, and this is a big book. If you are in the mood for good, solid history, like a big, meaty chunk of history where people are getting crossed, double-crossed, triple-crossed, and kingdoms are rend asunder and all that fun stuff, you can't do worse than a history about the War of the Roses. And yeah, this one I highly recommend. All right, and last on the list, this one's probably for the Omar pile, Daredevil Volume 3, Through Hell. I am a big Daredevil fan. Daredevil's one of my favorite superheroes. I would even say in most cases he is my favorite superhero. We have Daredevil comics here at the library. This is part 3. We have parts 1 and 2 before that, and it's written by a man named Chip Zdarsky, and Zdarsky is a really good comic writer. If you are not a comic book fan, definitely give his work a shot. He's really good at putting his characters through the ringer. If you are a comic book fan and if you haven't read this, you definitely are missing out on one of the best Marvel comics that is currently being published. I don't know how long this series is going to go for, but you know, Volume 3, if that's any indication, it's probably going to be here for a while. So there you have it. This is our book pile for just today, July 8th, 2020. If any of these looked interesting to you, like I said before, email us, call us, place a hole through Buckles, and we will put these aside for you. In the meantime, be sure to like this video, subscribe to it. All subscribers help, and in the meantime, we will see you at the library.